mais c'est bon, ça je vais pas mettre x2, elle fait 15 minutes. Celle-là c'est bon, ouais, 15 minutes de vidéo, ça y est, y a plus personne. Allez go.
This is a day in the life of a mangaka.
Si, c'est you. 5h30, hein. Tu te prépares, tu vas te lever à 5h30, mon gars.
This is Reiji Miyajima, 34-year-old manga creator, also known in Japanese as a mangaka, living in Tokyo, and this is how he starts his day. He has a wife and kids, but they don't stay with him in this apartment, as he rents this place out as a separate office so he can focus on creating manga, as sometimes he requires complete silence to work. Plus, he sometimes uses this office apartment as a place to sleep when working late, like last night.
Rien que j'ai vu le début, moi j'ai pas envie d'être mangaka. Hein. C'est infernal leur vie. Hein.
By design, his apartment office is only a short walk away from his home studio.
6h du mat.
It's typical for mangaka in Japan to work from their home. In Reiji's case, the first floor of his home is used for the office while the upper floors are for family use.
Les gars, c'est plus que de la motivation qu'il te faut.
He
Hein.
always cleans the first floor bathroom. Since his home is also used as an office, it's important for him to provide a clean toilet for his assistants.
Alright, so it's about 6 o'clock in the morning and he's about to come through into the office.
Good morning. You're up so early.
Ouais, là, DLM, c'est un truc chill. Je me disais, en
What time did you
voyant
sleep
vite
last
fait,
night?
c'était chill.
10時半に寝ましたね。7時間ぐらいじゃないですか。いつもだいたいそれぐらいですね。はい。
Wesh, ça va en vrai, il a dormi
So
7 heures.
this is his studio office. All the extra desks are assigned to his assistants
Ça
who will
va.
be arriving later today. He built this house about 5 years ago and had this area designed specifically for his manga studio. It's a bit nicer and more modern compared to your stereotypical mangaka studio in Japan. So he creates the manga called Kanojo o Karishimasu, which translates to
Dédicace à toi,
Renting a
Red.
Girlfriend, popular love comedy Rensai in the Japanese weekly shonen magazine since 2017. Rensai means it's been turned into a comic series in partnership with a publisher. Most of all, mangaka strive for Rensai status as it signifies that the
Ah,
manga
ok,
is
ok. Ça, je
popular
connaissais
enough for a
pas.
weekly
J'apprends.
mass audience. But as soon as the manga is no longer popular, publishers will usually cancel the series, so mangaka have the pressure to continue to produce and deliver high-quality manga every week.
Ouais, il dessine
Today is Wednesday, and
numériquement.
it's a critical part of the weekly publishing schedule as Reiji's last full day before he needs to submit a genko, which in Japanese means the final completed draft of the weekly manga, to his publisher Kodansha. It's also launch day for his latest manga in the weekly shonen magazine, so in the morning he usually draws a colored illustration to post on his Twitter account to promote the new release. You draw everything
Jure, il
digitally?
est à l'aise
でも
avec les réseaux et
結
tout.
構デジタルの人は増えてるとは思ってて、自分はこっちの方が早いのと、割と今風な絵は描けるかなとは思うので。
I heard that many mangaka have trouble making their weekly deadline, especially paper-based ones, but you seem so calm today, so that must make you the fastest mangaka in
Ah,
Japan,
carrément
right?
le plus
あ、
rapide
そう
du
です
Japon.
ね。僕多分日本で一番早いと思うので。
So, did you study how to draw?
そうです。専門学校に行って、そこで2年間ぐらい一応勉強はしましたね。一応ってことないですね。教えてもらって。
So he did learn in school, but he believes he learned more and more as he worked with various publishing editors over time.
entendez les
And
futurs
what was
mangaka
your
de mon
first
chat?
paid job, and how much was
Les
it?
gars,
最初の
c'est
仕事
l'expérience.
は読み切り会議を通して読み切りが
Faut s'exercer.
スペシャルっていう当時の雑誌に載って
So he says the manga was about 55 pages with a colored title page, 9,000 yen per page, which is about $82. And the colored title page was about double that, which means he got about $4,675. That's pretty good for his
Ça
first
va.
paid job. For those of you who aren't familiar with manga, let me explain how a manga is created.
Mais ça
Mangaka
va.
start by creating a rough sketch called nemu, which is reviewed by editors from the publishing company who review the sketch in red. Reiji told me that the nemu process takes the most time as it requires about 4 to 5 revisions. Once the editor is satisfied with the sketch, the mangaka draws the final draft called genko, inking the sketch, now done digitally, and meticulously adding tones and filling drawings in black.
Ouais, je vois, c'est ce que je fais aussi quand je fais mon manga. Je vais faire à peu près les mêmes procédés pour mon manga assez connu qui s'appelle One Piece, les gars, je sais pas si vous connaissez. Je fais à peu près la même technique. Ouais, One Piece, ça devient un peu connu, je suis content. Ouais, Yacine.
Just right outside the office, it looks like he has this like kind of little workout gym area. It has a bicycle and he even has an exercise ball. So on the other side, what's also pretty cool is that he has a full-on wall that's a chalkboard. If you go on this side is a chalkboard. And look, he even has slippers for his assistants.
Jure.
Just over here, there's another room. Let's go see what's inside. So this area looks
y a
like
des mangas.
another office space. Just to the right
Il lit
of
quoi,
me
lui?
here, there's a huge drawing pad, and you have all of his books behind me. Maybe let's
Attends,
get
attends,
him to
attends,
come
attends,
inside
attends.
here and explain a little
J'ai envie de voir qu'est-ce qu'il lit.
And you have all of his books.
Y a quoi là en vite fait qui est reconnaissable? Y a pas One Piece là-dedans. Ah si, c'est One Piece là au fond, non? Ça, c'est pas du One Piece. Ça là. C'est des BZ. Ouais, y a moins que ce soit des BZ, en effet. En effet, je crois que c'est des BZ. Naruto? Ouais, je sais pas, bref.
Books behind me. Maybe let's get him to come inside here and explain a little bit more.
ここは書斎ですね、基本的には。
Reiji, what's that?
刀、はい、僕前に時代劇書いてたんですよ、これの時に刀必要だったんで買いました。
Oh, I see. He uses actual models for his drawings. So can I ask you a favor? Can I draw one line in the manga?
いいですよ、書きますか？
So he's gonna let me draw right now.
Oula,
Just give me the
oula,
pen.
oula, oula, oula. Si.
間違えた。ちょっと待って。
ぐにゃぐにゃじゃないですか。
Là, ça passe en vrai.
ダメですか？
いいんじゃないですか。
はい。
Mais c'est trop dur de repasser comme ça, genre.
Alright, so I
En
guess
faisant des
it's not
lignes
that
bien
hard to
droites.
be a mangaka. So easy, right?
Wow, you guys, my line will be in episode 118, page 13, so check it out.
おはようございます。
There's the first assistant.
こんな T シャツ着てる。
So how long have you been an assistant?
今年で2年目ですね。
And
Il est
why are
jeune
you
de fou.
wearing the same shirt?
これ彼女をお借りしますっていう作品の主人公の
すごいしね。
T シャツ
それね
です
Oh,
Bah
and there's
ouais, en
another
vrai, ils ont
one.
vraiment un talent de fou. Hein.
とりあえず先生OK
Hey, did you hear the assistant call Reiji sensei? Which means teacher
Ouais, moi,
in
je suis
Japanese.
bilingue, je
It's
connais.
typical for assistants and editors to call
Ici, dans le chat, on est des
professional
bilingues,
mangaka
on connaît,
sensei. In
hein.
Japan, there are
Quand
certain
même.
jobs that are
On a vu
given the
assez
title
de mangas et
sensei
d'animés
other
pour
than
savoir ce que veut
teachers,
dire
like
sensei.
lawyers, doctors, governors, and mangaka as a way to
Quand
show
même.
これ
respect.
が僕の作品です事故物件の幽霊ちゃんって言います
おはようございます。はい、じゃあ色木さん、はい、20、21見開きお願いします。
Eh, mais il a l'air vraiment chill par
Now
contre dans
that
son
everyone's
taf. Hein.
here, he instructs each person on what to do one by one, and they share all their drafts in Dropbox.
Ça a l'air
which
d'être un
means that
bon de
Reiji rarely
fou.
needs to get out of his seat to work with his assistants. So he usually has 4 to 5 assistants come in every Wednesday.
Les gars,
but
Togashi,
some
il
mangaka
ment, hein.
hire 10 assistants
J'ai
on a
juré
shift
Togashi, il
basis.
ment.
It really depends though on each mangaka and how they like to run their
Ah,
studio.
le
It's
menteur.
also interesting that each of them use different drawing tools. I guess it really
Ah là
depends
là
on
là
each
là là là
mangaka
là.
and what makes them feel comfortable when they draw. Did you work as an
Togashi
assistant back in the day?
あ、でも僕そんなには入ってなくて、一番長くて1ヶ月くらいしか僕入ってないんですよ。いろんな作家さんとこ入っていろいろ勉強して、そのノウハウというかやり方やっぱ
Ah, gars, Togashi, il abuse de Grid Island, c'est ça son problème lui.
スタッフさんへのお願いの仕方であったりとか、資料の用意の仕方とか、システムが全然違くて、それ見ていろんなとこ行っていいところを使ってっていう感じで現状を生かしてはいますかね。
So it looks like all
Non, je pense que c'est un bon, mais je vais pas aller jusqu'à voir son œuvre.
Let's ask them a few questions to see how their jobs are like.
How long have you been working here?
アシスタント多分2、3年ぐらい
How did you find this job?
担当さんに紹介してもらってって感じです
How about you?
1年目になる
En fait, mais
How did you find
ils
this
sont
job?
tous grave récents dans le taf.
上京しないかって言われた時に担当さんが宮島先生のとこ紹介してくれて
Do you have
そう
Rensai?
ですね今はネームっていうの書いて連載取れるように やってますね。
So what I'm finding that's different than most offices is that they actually like talk a lot of the time while they're working. For some people, that may be the perfect job.
So Reiji's 2 male assistants have actually got the Rensai, and usually when this happens, assistants quit to start off on their own, but
Ouais,
both have
quand t'as
decided to
assistant, c'est que
continue to
t'as envie
work
de
with
te lancer
Reiji, which
généralement.
says a lot. But let's see, is Reiji a good boss?
ボスがいいです。いいボスです。
言わされてるから。
Mais en fait, lui, vu que c'est un jeune mangaka, j'ai l'impression qu'il est différent. En fait, les mangaka genre d'avant, c'est pas la même époque.
Finally,
Lui, ça a l'air d'être un mangaka de la nouvelle époque, genre à l'aise, tout ça, tout en numérique, bien organisé. Ouais, il a une bonne hygiène de vie. Je pense que c'est parce que ça a grave évolué, contrairement au mangaka d'avant.
So lunch hasn't finished yet. They still have about 10
C'est
to
pour ça
15
qu'il vit
minutes before
tranquille,
lunch
j'ai
is over.
l'impression.
And it looks like all of them are back here. They're using their own free time to work on their own manga.
Ah, genre ils sont assistants et en même temps ils bossent sur leur propre manga du coup. Ok.
So, what are you working on now?
これからは原稿の続きをしますね。でもキャラペンって言ってキャラクターのペンがもうある程度終わったので、
Ouais, ça je sais.
自分が描ける背景は書いちゃったりとか、スタッフさんたちに貼ってもらうトーンの指定を入れていく。
I think it's like just a little after 1. They're pretty much going to be doing this the rest of the day until 6 o'clock. So let me just take a little bit of time and explain how kind of this whole mangaka thing works.
Since his manga appears in a weekly magazine, he has a 1-week production cycle. He meets publishers to decide the plot on Monday, works on the final sketch on Tuesday, finishes the Genko final draft with his assistants on Wednesday, and from Thursday through Sunday, he works on drafting and creating the story for the next Neimu, as well as
Oui,
gathering
ces chaussures, elles
information
sont
like
incroyables,
taking
hein.
photos for backgrounds, and then back to the publisher meeting on Monday.
20ページ入ります。1ページ確認お願いします。
はい。
Ouais, il a l'air de dessiner vraiment bien par contre.
鍵ないですね。
Okay, that was the first time he moved from his desk during work hours. You just witnessed the biggest action scene at a mangaka. So what do you advise people to do who want to become a mangaka?
もう今すぐ漫画を描くことですね。
C'est bon,
He says that
vous
the
êtes sur la
manga
bonne voie
industry
là,
is
ceux
short
du
with
chat.
assistants.
C'est
So
you,
if
t'es
artists
sur
have
la
a
bonne
set
voie.
of skills, maybe that person can contact a publisher or mangaka directly for a job. He thinks it's important to keep trying to submit your manga to publishers or other manga websites like Pixiv, and also to find your own unique strength that can compete with existing popular mangaka. Look, he uses women's magazines as a reference for female characters, and he even pulls out
comme
his
référence,
heroine,
hein?
Mizuhara's outfit from the fashion magazine
Tiens,
Ray.
tiens.
Interesting.
Des magazines.
So we're reaching the end of the day, and
Bizarre.
I think the manga is actually starting to come together. You can see that the pictures are starting to get filled out. You can see the tone. So they have to actually finish all of it today and send it to the publisher.
Have you and your assistants finished the Genko?
はい、終わります。
I mean, all of it?
もう完全に終わりますね。はい。お疲れです。また後で。はい、また後でね。
Ouais, non,
Reiji
l'ambiance est
usually
trop
goes
chill
straight to
ici.
dinner with his staff after work, but today he has an irregular meeting with his editors, so he's joining a bit afterwards.
Ouais, genre là il finit à 18h au calme, 18h30 il est
So
chez lui.
instead of having the weekly meeting at the office, Reiji
Franchement.
prefers to meet with the publisher at an izakaya restaurant so they
Ah
can
non,
eat
dans
and
un
drink
restaurant,
while they
ok.
discuss the next episode.
生を一つ。
はい、生を一つ。軟骨の盛り合わせがお一つでございますね。はい、かしこまりました。ありがとうございます。失礼いたします。
Et la politesse des japonais ça me choque toujours. Hein.
はい、お疲れ様です。お疲れ様です。
お願いします。
Ils sont à l'aise. Oh là là.
出た。
Ouais, après c'est ça, tu vois pas beaucoup ta famille quoi.
はい、お疲れ様です。
Certes sa vie elle est pas si mal
で
mais...
もお疲れ様でした。
はい。
とりあえず先週分がもう割と
大丈夫ですか？
いただいたもので
By the way, Reiji is sitting at the furthest location from the door, which is called kamiza in Japanese. It's a top seat within the room, meaning the seat of honor, and the seat closest to the door is called shimoza, which is the lowest seat. It dates back to the samurai days when would-be attackers came through the door. Usually the first person killed would be the person closest to the door with their back turned. In Japanese business culture, people still decide where to sit and stand based on this seating rule, and the kamizama and shimoza also apply to car seats and elevators as well.
Eh ben,
Nice.
Une
Reiji
cultive,
is
bien
finally
vu.
finished with the publisher meeting and is now joining dinner with his assistants.
Bon, non, en fait, il finit vraiment pas la journée à 18h. Hein.
Gathering itself
Genre là,
is called
bon, ça fait quand même
uchirage in
14 heures qu'il est
Japanese,
debout, hein.
which means to drink and celebrate an event. In their case, the finishing of this week's episode.
Alright, so that's the day.
Ça commence à être un peu moins drôle. Hein. Là, c'est bien beau, c'est chill, tout ça, mais ça commence à être un peu moins drôle. Ah, jure, c'est déjà fini. Eh, on a vu la vie d'un mangaka, il n'y a pas eu un temps avec sa famille. Le pauvre. Ah, le pauvre. Oh là là. Ouais, la vidéo, elle était intéressante de ouf, elle était vraiment instructive. Ouah, miskin, genre... En fait, non, sa vie... elle est pas si bien. Moi, franchement, c'est pas une vie que je prendrais. Vraiment pas.